Happy Monday. I'm logging into work here, but Jill and I had a startling realization yesterday. Our lease ends here in 2 weeks. For some reason, I still thought we had a month left, so we really have to get our stuff together and figure out what we're doing. Which, as of right now, it sounds like I need to find a storage unit to put my stuff in, and we're gonna start heading down south to California. But I still need to talk to my manager about it. I might have to actually move out mid next week, so I need to take a day off. I need to notify my manager. I need to find a storage unit. I need to find places for us to stay as we travel down south. And Julian needs to go to the DMV to register his car, all while we have to keep up with working from home. Which lately I've been really bad at uploading on YouTube, so thank you so much for your patience and for sticking with me. It's been a really busy time period with my full-time job. Also, I was trying to make a lot of videos that weren't vlogs. A desk makeover, a what I spend in a week, a picking up my puppy video is coming up soon. Those videos just take a lot longer for me to make because when I'm vlogging, I can vlog while I'm working and then I can edit on the weekends. But then if I'm making videos that are not vlogs, then I have to script, film, and edit on the weekends, and my weekends don't have that capacity. So yeah, being a YouTuber and working a full-time job is totally doable, I think, in the vlogging department. It still takes a lot of extra work to edit, to plan your videos, work with potential sponsorships, and to run your channel, but it's definitely a lot less work than making videos that aren't vlogs, in my opinion, because I feel like then I have to use my entire weekend to make a video as opposed to filming throughout the week and then editing on the weekend. Which actually, this is not as bad in the summertime because I can film after work, but now it's just too dark after work to film, and I don't like the video quality when it's not natural light. It's a little bit harder to make videos, but that's okay. It's just the contraction and expansion of the seasons. Anyways, I'm gonna get started at work here. I'm gonna get started off by planning in my bullet journal what I have today, what meetings I have, things I have to do for work, and also for this whole moving situation. I've always tried to be more minimal with my belongings. I think I minimized my belongings a lot. My sophomore or junior year of college is when I really got into the whole idea of reducing the number of material items you possess. I wouldn't call myself a minimalist, but I do feel more free when I have less stuff. Like, I feel like it's really stuff that anchors you down to one place, which is why I think I've always been obsessed with the idea of van life, because you have everything that you own in a moving vehicle, so you can go anywhere you want anytime. I've kind of unintentionally accumulated a lot of stuff here in Seattle, and I didn't even realize how much stuff I had until about 8 months ago. I had to move from my studio apartment to this 2-bedroom apartment, and it's crazy because I lived in a tiny, like 400 square feet studio apartment, and I still had so much stuff. Like, I had to rent a U-Haul truck to bring everything over. So now that Jewel and I are moving out of this apartment, now that this lease is ending, I'm gonna start the process of detoxing my stuff again. So I have a few things I'm selling. You can see that I've taken off the covers off my couch because I'm washing it. I'm going to try to sell that couch. I'm going to try to sell this dining table and a few other pieces of furniture, which part of me is hesitant to, because what if I come back to Seattle and then I really need a couch and then I won't have one? But also I do save a lot of money with renting a smaller storage space if I don't need to store my couch and other big pieces of furniture that I can sell. So I won't be detoxing everything, but instead of renting a 10-foot by 10-foot storage space, which is what I think I would need if I kept the couch and a few other things, I'm gonna rent a 5-foot by 10-foot space. Yeah, I'm impressed with how fast Julia and I are starting to get stuff together. Like, I talked to my manager this morning. He okayed me going to California for a month or so. I booked some movers. I think it was $84 an hour to come in and pack everything for me, so that makes things a lot easier for Julia and I just because we're on a tight schedule. I booked a storage unit called Clutter. Julian got his car registered at the DMV, so we are good in that department. I want to film an apartment tour before I leave, and I need to post pictures of the furniture that I'm going to be selling. It's the middle of the workday, but I can't get myself to focus for the life of me, so I'm gonna answer some of y'all's questions. A little while ago, I asked y'all to ask me questions on Instagram. I'm trying to do a Q&A at least once a month on these vlogs so I can get some interaction with you all. I am answering these questions live, so hopefully I can come up with coherent answers. I'm always stressed about Q&As because I feel like my brain is so messy, and when I'm talking I jump from point to point. That's never a coherent answer, but I'm gonna try my best. Let's see how this goes. First question or statement. More on what it's like living in Seattle. So first thing that comes to mind, when I was in college, my top 2 cities I wanted to move to were San Francisco and Seattle. I wanted to go to a big city, and I wanted to be on the West Coast or Pacific Northwest on this side of things just because of how beautiful the nature is. So first things that come to mind, pro of Seattle is access to the outdoors. If you love mountains, Seattle is the place to be. You have access to Olympic National Park, Mount Rainier National Park. All of that is just within, I don't know, 2 hours drive. You have amazing hiking, just a 30-minute drive away. There's a huge hiking outdoorsy culture here. Almost everyone you meet is into hiking. So yeah, I absolutely love that. Camping is big. There's just beautiful, beautiful nature out here. It's insane. Although the one con, I don't think Seattle has great beaches. So Seattle's a little bit lacking in the beach department. I also love surfing. Okay, I say that and I've literally been surfing twice, but I absolutely fell in love with it the 2 times I went surfing. And I haven't found great surf spots that are close to Seattle. Another pro is people talk about how the housing is really expensive, but I think you do get a lot for what you pay for. Housing in every city except for cities in Texas are really expensive. So you have the city pricing, but most of the time you get a dishwasher, you get an in-unit washer dryer, whereas I feel like a lot of apartments in different cities like New York City or San Francisco, you pay higher prices and you don't get those things. A con, I don't know if I like the aesthetic of Seattle. It has cute neighborhoods and cute streets, but the architectural style is very inconsistent. Like you have a Victorian style building right next to a modern storage container style house. There isn't like a cohesive design to Seattle, if that makes sense. Pro and con, Seattle has really good food, but the con side of that is I think it's pretty hard to find. Maybe it's just because I'm from Ann Arbor, which is a smaller town, which I think Ann Arbor has amazing food. Seattle has been really hard to find good food, but I have, after a while, been able to find good food. You just have to weed through a lot of mediocre food, in my opinion. Pro, Seattle's waterfront is absolutely beautiful, and the fact that you can take a ferry and visit islands like Bainbridge Island or Whidbey Island close by is so cool. I went to Whidbey Island for a couple of weeks with Julian to visit his parents because his parents were staying there for a little bit, and we stayed on this house on the water. We drove by this farm to table restaurant. We went to this really cute brunch place. Lots of cool day trips to take from Seattle as well. Another con is I feel like it's very dominated by tech. Most people I meet work in tech, which is cool because you can meet people who are like you, but the downside to that is you don't meet a lot of different people, and most people I meet don't plan on staying here for a long time. Quick summary, Seattle is absolutely beautiful. The summer here is heavenly. The summer is perfect weather for 3 months straight. Insane nature, huge hiking community. Cons, inconsistent architecture, dominance of the tech industry, and the winter rain. That one's a little rough. It definitely gets very cloudy and very rainy for a long period of time in the winter. And I don't love it enough to set my roots here, but I also love it for the time being. Like, I'm very happy that I'm here right now. I still think it's a great city to explore. Oh, one of my favorite things about Seattle is the fact that you can see Mount Rainier in the distance. Like, it's the coolest thing being in the middle of a busy city and seeing this giant mountain in the distance. Next question. Not a question, but could you give us a tour of your beautiful workspace? I actually have a desk makeover video coming up, so I'm gonna be so annoying and I'm gonna save it for that video, but I'll give you all a brief tour. I have a Where I Live YouTube video on right now, which let me turn off the other monitor because that has work stuff on it. And I'm still in the process of decorating it fully, but some upgrades that I've done recently is I've added this mic so that the audio during my work calls is a lot better. I got a plant from Trader Joe's who's hiding behind this mic. I put some knickknacks here. I added this second level shelf, which creates a lot more room. And I also bought some clay because I'm gonna do some DIY to make some trinkets and also decorate my monitors, because I think we should bring more feminine energy into the tech corporate working space. You know, historically women entered the working space a lot later, and I gotta be honest, cubicles are not the vibe. So when we go back to the office, I'm ready to really express myself through how I decorate my desk and also how I style myself, really just not caring about what people think. Okay, another question. Thoughts on financial wellness, expenses compared to staying with parents versus living in Seattle? I've learned a lot of finance from social media, like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, from popular creators like Graham Stephan. And while I have learned a lot, I have had to learn to take their advice with a grain of salt, because that space of financial wellness on social media, or just the finance world in general, is filled with toxic masculinity. There are so many male financial influencers that approach it with a non-inclusive mindset. Like, I feel like they're always criticizing women for buying coffee, for spending a lot of money. People get very uncomfortable when they see a successful woman with a lot of money. For some reason in our society, people really hate it when women spend a lot of money, and they also really hate it when women spend money on things that she wants to spend money on, like makeup, clothing is all usually deemed as waste of money. But you make your money, you spend your money on things that you want. Like, why are all these feminine things such wastes of money, if that makes sense? Our society does not have a great reputation of trusting women, nor valuing women's wants and needs. That's my thought on finance in the social media space, because I know a lot of people learn their finance information from social media. So I wanted to bring that up. Spend that money on coffee. Spend the money on makeup, clothes, do what you want. The economy definitely has a different effect on females and males. Women have some 80% buying power in the economy. The majority of products are marketed towards women. That's just a bone I have to pick with the finance world. And I don't even know if I articulated this well. This is why I like to write scripts and prepare my answers before Q&As. But I hope you got the gist of what I'm trying to say. On the topic of expenses compared to staying with parents versus living in Seattle, I went back to live with my parents for a little bit, and I subleased this apartment, and I saved a lot of money. But this is my theory on things. I like to think I'm a money saver. Make sure you have enough money in your savings, invest your money, invest in your retirement account, all that stuff. But also, you make money to spend money. I feel like not enough people approach money with an abundance mindset. A year back, I was at the same job, making relatively the same amount of money, and I was so stressed about money because I was trying to budget every single week, track exactly where I was spending my money, and I was coming from this mindset that I need to save, save, save. And to me, that was a very unhealthy mindset to be in. A healthier mindset for me is this abundance mindset, recognizing that I have plenty of money to survive, to meet my basic needs, and I trust myself to make decisions on where to spend my money. Being in that strict saving mindset didn't help me, and being in this abundance mindset where I have this money and I should spend it where I see fit, on things that make me happy, on situations that make me happy. It's really hard to talk about this because I don't want to recommend reckless spending. Like, that's not what this is. Like, make sure you're in a good place, but also approach your money with abundance mindset. I don't have any desire to hit $1 million as soon as possible or anything. As long as I make enough money to meet my basic needs and explore my desires, I'm as well off as I need to be. Another question is, how do you spend your paycheck? This is a really good question, and I love talking about money, so I'm really excited about all the finance questions coming through. Maybe I'll make a separate video on this because I feel like I need to actually look into my bank account and put information together a little bit more before I answer this question. But I do have a what I spend in a week video coming up soon if it's not already out. So stay tuned, and very good question. I'm sorry that I have to divert the answer. Another question is from my friend, do you use your camera for your Teams calls? No, I do not, and that is mostly because I film a lot of time while I'm working. Like right now it's 4:30 p.m. and I'm just taking a break to answer some questions, and I'd rather not have to disassemble my camera and move it back and forth. I do want to get a webcam. That's on my wish list of things to buy, because most of the time I have my laptop closed that has the built-in webcam, and I use my separate monitors, so I want to invest in a webcam so I can get higher video quality during my Teams call. I already got my microphone that's on this arm stand here, so the next step is to upgrade the video quality. Another question is morning routine, night routine. I love routines, so let's talk about it. I should make a video soon. I have so many videos on my video idea list. I really struggle to make time for any videos except for vlogs. But in short, my morning routine right now is I wake up around 6:50 a.m., 7 a.m. And honestly, I have to give all the credit to my dog Otis. I was in a terrible sleep schedule before, and getting Otis and his tiny little bladder that goes off at 7 a.m. really gets me out of bed. So I wake up 6:50 to 7 a.m. I take Otis on a walk. Recently, I've been making the walk longer and longer. I've been really enjoying my walk. In the beginning, I started off with just a 10-minute walk, and recently I've been sprinkling in some 30-minute, 40-minute walks here and there. I'll take him to the park, we'll play fetch for a little bit, and it's such a good time. It's my favorite way to start off my morning. Then I'll come back and I'll make my coffee. While my coffee's making, I will journal, and I've been really loving art journaling. So I'll take my markers, I'll doodle or draw how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking about. The goal is to create ugly art, and I call it ugly art because that removes any expectation that this art has to be good by society's standards. Some days when I have more thoughts going on, I'll take pen to paper in my journal and write write paragraphs. That's when my mind is busy. When my mind is relatively empty, I don't want to force any journaling. If that's the case, I might do a meditation, listen to some affirmations, which recently I found my new absolute favorite guided meditations on YouTube. She is so amazing. Her username is ria.earth on Instagram, and she also has a YouTube channel. Highly recommend. If you're more on the go and you can't use YouTube, I would recommend Bob Baker's Affirmations podcast. I love his affirmations as well. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just stressed right away or in a bad mood, so if that's the case, I'll put in Bob Baker's affirmations while I'm taking Otis on his walk. Affirmations sound so corny, but they have honestly changed my life so much. I was in the biggest rut a couple months ago, and affirmations single-handedly pulled me out of it. Affirmations never worked for me until I started reading the book Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, and he talked about his experience with affirmations working with his mental health clients. First thing people complain about is how they feel like they're lying to themselves, and that's how I felt like when I was doing affirmations. But the thing is, your brain is wrong all the time. Like, just because a thought came up first doesn't mean it's true. You know those optical illusions where it looks to be one way but it's actually another way? Like, your brain is wrong all the time, so you can rewire your brain, and it's important to do so, to rewire it with positive thoughts, because there is energy passing through you, through your neurotransmitters, and it literally changes your brain and changes the way you are. That really got me on the affirmations train, and I am riding this train all the way down to the end. It is carrying me forward. It's done me so well, and I can't recommend it enough. One of the questions is, what are you doing differently this year? And I know it's March now, but I love this question. I love New Year energy. We're gonna carry it forward. Something I'm doing differently this year is finding ways to feel more free, more wild, and being more expressive. I started off the year by reading the book Women That Run With Wolves, and I have a few critiques for the book, but overall it's a very inspiring book. It really talks about this feminine energy that is so oppressed in our society, and how wild women are, and the wild woman archetype, how every woman has this wild intuitive energy that is so important to harness, and how society has disregarded this energy, has invalidated this energy. The feminine energy is an emotional energy, a creative energy, and it's undervalued in our society. So this book definitely reconnected me with the energy that I suppressed for so long. Like, I remember in middle school thinking that I would be uncool if I liked the color pink. Like, that's how badly oppressed the feminine energy is. Like, it's literally uncool to be a girl. So yeah, I highly recommend this book. It's really inspired me to be more free, be more wild, be who I am unapologetically. Like, dress codes. Dress codes are beyond ridiculous. And like in middle school, how you couldn't wear straps that were smaller than, it was like 2 fingers or 3 fingers wide. Your shorts had to go past your fingertips, and it wasn't because that it would be like uncomfortable for you as the woman wearing it, but because it would distract the males, which is just infuriating to realize. But now I'm realizing the workplace has very similar dress code expectations. I'm not in office right now, but when I go back, I'm just ready to dress however I wanted. Like, I remember it was so frustrating buying work clothes when I was starting my full-time job, because none of the clothes I wanted to wear would be suitable for work, or I was nervous that they wouldn't be suitable for work. When I go back to the office, I'm just ready to bring my wardrobe full blast and express myself, have fun with my outfits, and not have to suppress that aspect of my personality. Alright, yeah, thank you for tuning into my Q&A. I need to jump back to work. You should definitely let me know your own take on these questions in the comments below. Going down.
That's supposed to be symbolizing the hand and the arrows up and down.